Good, happy Sunday evening, October 31st, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Sunday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, longtime Boston Red Sox broadcaster, former player Jerry Remy dies of cancer. Close friend of Staff Sergeant Jesse Shirley reflects on fallen officer's life. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Did you know 7 out of 10 people say they're more likely to come to the office when there's free food?
Yet another reason we didn't need this water slide.
Memorial for Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill has been set up outside of the funeral home where his body is being held. Behind it, 2 state police cruisers are on 24/7 watch, a way to honor the man that so many refer to as the ultimate friend and family man.
It's hard. It's hard to put into words.
Mark Svensson was Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill's best friend growing up.
Some of the best memories were around playing baseball, the BYA.
He knew Sherrill long before he became a state trooper.
As a friend, you know, he was always supportive and what can I do? And all right, here's what we can do on this.
The two grew up together in Barrington, a community that Jesse moved back to as an adult and played an active role in coaching youth baseball.
And the things that he offered to the community are countless. He's just a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Even as a kid, Mark says Jesse wanted to make his community a better place, which is why law enforcement was the perfect career for him, and why Friday's procession was so moving and surreal for so many.
The funeral home where he went is owned by a good friend of Jesse's, you know, and I don't know, it must be just impossible for that family right now. And that's how far-reaching he was in the community. Jesse's was one I was never going to really lose. I always had faith that I was going to see him again. I always had faith that we would play ball together. We'd have a catch. Our kids would have a catch. We had such a bond that was everlasting.
And a funeral for Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill will be held on Wednesday at Southern New Hampshire University Arena. That is scheduled to begin at 11 o'clock, and it's open to the public. In Dover tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Fundraising underway to help support family of New Hampshire State Police Staff Sergeant Jesse Shirley. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Don't be left in the dark when planning for the future of your business. Partner with the bank used by 50.
Just a salt of the earth kind of guy.
New Hampshire State Police Lieutenant Gary Prince knew Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill for his entire 19-year career with the state police. Prince was Sherrill's field training officer when he started back in 2002.
He worked very hard to do things the right way. He wanted people around him to do things the right way. He led by example.
But above all, Lieutenant Prince says Staff Sergeant Sherrill was a family man.
Was a great family man, a fantastic dad, always doing stuff with his wife and kids.
As you can imagine, it has been a difficult week for state police in the wake of Sherrill's death. His colleagues say they appreciate the support they've received from the public and fellow law enforcement.
It's a very humbling time, very sad time, but it's very nice to see how the community has come together to support the Sherrill family and the state police.
It's very sad, but it's also one of the proudest moments that you could have wearing this uniform. And just seeing the brotherhood and sisterhood come together is it's an extremely proud feeling.
Now, the New Hampshire Troopers Association is making sure Cheryl's family is getting that same support.
Fortunate enough to partner up with the Greg Hill Foundation.
The foundation is collecting money donations. 100% of the proceeds will go to the Cheryl family. It's a way for Staff Sergeant Cheryl's colleagues to give back to the family of a man who gave to so many.
The best troopers that the state's ever going to have.
For more information on how you can donate to the fundraiser for the Cheryl family, you can head over to our website or mobile app. Reporting outside the Department of Safety in Concord, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police investigating apparent shooting of new Boston home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New Boston police are investigating reports of a house being shot on Popple Road. Investigators say that call came in around 9:45 last night, and upon closer inspection, police found the house was struck multiple times. People were inside at the time, but luckily no one was hurt. Now police are asking people in that area to be on their guard and to check their doorbell cameras for anything suspicious.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Halloween festivities held across New Hampshire. Drivers urged to exercise caution. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
How you handle overdraft should be in your control, not just your bank's.
That's right, Mike. This is Loudoun's annual Trick or Trunk event, and so far, both parents and kids seem to be having a blast tonight. And there have been some great costumes, too. A lot of really creative costumes this year. The cool thing about this event is that people decorate their cars and they fill up the trunks with candy. It's a safe and convenient way for the kids to trick or treat without having to walk across town or go door to door. And while last year's Halloween looked a bit different in the midst of the pandemic, many people tell us it's good to be back this year.
Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. I'm really excited that we were able to get back out and do everything normal.
And it's great to see the community out here and have a place for kids where they can just be safe and run around and grab some candy and, you know, lots of families coming out. So it's wonderful.
And this event in Loudoun is going on until 7 o'clock tonight. And just to reiterate what Mike said earlier, drivers, please use some extra caution tonight. Obviously, all those kiddos are going to be dressed up and running around on the streets, so always better to play it safe. Reporting live in Loudoun tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Busy road in Guilford flooded by heavy rain. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Route 3 in Guilford impassable this afternoon in an area that's normally busy on a Sunday, with people like Pepe Herman trying to get to the hardware store.
It's a big surprise for me. I wanted to go to Lowe's, and obviously I can't go.
Both entrances to Lowe's and Hannaford blocked by floodwaters. Firefighters say some people got stuck.
We had 2 vehicles that were stranded in the flooded water, and we had to assist those motorists out of their vehicles.
Lieutenant Jeff Madden says heavy rain overwhelmed a brook that runs alongside Lakeshore Road and backed up some culverts. This same area was flooded over the summer. Town construction and DOT crews are using pumps to clear it all out.
And we had an emergency at Shaw's down the road. We had to go all the way around to the detour, so it's certainly affecting emergency services too.
It may not look like it, but Madden says it's waist deep in some parts.
So don't cross any roads that have flooded water. So you don't know if the road is washed out below, just under the surface. You don't know how deep the water is, and you could get carried downstream. Here, fortunately, it's not a swift water issue, but could be in other cases.
As for Herman, he sees it as a minor inconvenience.
Well, we have to put up with it. It's not a big deal. I mean, by the end of the day, it will be okay.
Officials say that area is back open to shoppers, but there is still some water on the roadways. Fire crews also responded to calls for flooded basements.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man accused of robbing CVS in Newburyport, Massachusetts, driving a truck with New Hampshire plates. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Did you know 7 out of 10 people say they're more likely to come to the office when there's free food?
Yet another reason we didn't need this water slide.
In other news this morning, police in Newburyport, Massachusetts, searching for a man they say robbed a CVS and may have New Hampshire ties. Officers say the unidentified man gave a pharmacist a note claiming he had a bomb and demanded prescription drugs. He then fled with an undisclosed amount of drugs. A description of the man is here on your screen now. He's believed to be driving a blue pickup truck with New Hampshire license plates. Anyone with information about this incident should contact Newburyport Police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. American Airlines cancels hundreds of additional flights on Sunday. American Airlines canceled hundreds of flights Sunday for a third straight day as it struggles with staffing shortages and upended weekend plans for tens of thousands of travelers. By late Sunday afternoon, American had canceled more than 900 flights, 1/3 of it scheduled for the day. After scrapping nearly 900 flights over the previous 2 days, according to tracking service FlightAware. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and have a great evening, and see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.